I'm recording. I forgot to record. Momentum can only be achieved with force. Force equals major blast, and all the activities we're going to talk about this month for 4 weeks. Give you homework, you need to go out, do it, come back, give you more homework, go out, do it, come back, participate on the group chat, and it has to be done every day. You cannot be like, oh, I'm doing it part-time, I'm here on Wednesdays, I don't show up next week because I'm doing none of that stuff. It's all in, all across the board, and it's very important that you behave in this manner. And it's not something that is easy to do, because you have your life, you have your spouse or your partners, and you have other people relying on you, or you have other people pulling you down, or there's so many different things that are happening in your lives that to do what I'm talking about right now is drastically changing your behaviors. It's drastically changing everything in your life, and it's starting tomorrow morning. There's really no, oh, give me some, let me have a couple of days to adjust. There's no adjustments. You have to go in, and it's like you need to learn how to turn on and off a switch in your behavior. Like literally, I'm turning on a switch and it's done. I don't go back because I said I'm going to lose weight. Therefore, I don't eat any more Haagen-Dazs ice cream at 10:30 p.m. Last year, I say last year because I'm Jewish and my year starts in September, when it's what we call Rosh Hashanah, which is the first day of the year. So when I say last year, it's always September to September. Our year, it's funny because all around the world, you begin the school year in September, which in Israel is very, obvious because that's when the year starts. So anyways, when I say last year, I mean in 2021 at the beginning. So it's really, it started 2020 in September until 2021 in August 31st. That's the year that I'm talking about. Anyway, so last year I did 3 surgeries. They came to me out of freaking nowhere. The first one was nothing serious, but it was the most painful. The second one was crazy serious. I had to remove 40% of my lung. They had to open up my chest. It was a freaking nightmare. Okay, but it was more like fear and then adjusting to breathing and all that stuff that I'm still dealing with, because it's not something that, I don't go back to who I used to be physically. I am who I am right now, and we need to do the adjustments. And then I had to do a 3rd surgery, which was very painful. So that's behind. But the reason I'm telling you about this is because sometimes you have to light a switch. The last time I did the surgery, the second surgery, I lost a lot of weight. Like I lost about 20 pounds. And I was happy with that because I had this belly sitting on me for freaking, I don't know how long, that I said I'm going to lose the belly. And I did whatever I had to do. It just didn't leave me. You fell in love with me, and it just was like part of me. This is who you are. You have this little belly, relax. So anyway, after the surgery, I was happy because the belly was gone. And then slowly, without recognizing, this Haagen-Dazs gift that I was giving myself at 10:30 every night, I'm not going to eat like a whole jar. You know those little ones that you buy? You can buy like a pack with 6 and they come in different tastes. These different flavors, excuse me. So that's the one I'm talking about. So I take one of those and you don't think about it, because normally I eat very super extremely healthy. So anyway, long story short, a couple of days ago, I weighed myself after I didn't do that for like, since the second surgery. And I'm looking at the numbers and I'm like, no, something's got to be, like, it's not, let me do it again. I get off the scale, I go back on. And that was the real numbers. So numbers don't lie, which is really what I love about that, keeping track of your numbers, the things we talk about, keep track of your numbers don't lie. You go to the mirror and you tell yourself, how the F did I get to the number that I saw on the scale? I tell you how. Slowly making the wrong choices every day, like a small choice every day, just a tiny little bit of, hey, you live, you know, this voice in your head, you live once, come on, live the moment, enjoy the life. That voice is the weak part in ourselves. And it's always like that. Yes, you need to enjoy your life, but life is not about joy. And if people think, oh, we were born to have fun in life, then at the end, you'll recognize that what I just said is true. So life is hard work. Life is challenging. Life is all about that. Yes, you're going to have moments of fun. You're going to have moments of good times and moments of where you need to say, hey, don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. That conversation, the line is very thin, because you can be hard on yourself and then, God forbid, go in depression. We're not talking about that. When I say be hard on yourself, I'm talking about self-development. Don't allow yourself to eat this ice cream at 10:30. I know you want it, but until you get to the goal, let me ask you a question, talking to myself. What's your goal? Oh, my goal, I want to be 90 kilo, not more, 88 kilo. That's my goal. Okay, 88 kilo is in pounds, I don't know, 200 pounds. All right. So what's the problem? Why you're not there yet? Like, why aren't you there now? Okay, let me write down why I'm not there. I'm not there because I don't do enough of this and I do too much of that. And I start adjusting myself. I write this thing down and I look at the list. And then I ask myself, do you really want that goal? Is it really so important to you that you're willing to give up all these fun things that you love? That's a conversation with myself. And one part of myself says, yes, I want the goal. I still want to have fun, but I don't want to have fun on account of not having that first. Like, I want to achieve this first. So you got to come to, this moment with yourself where you're looking at yourself in the mirror, you're asking yourself some real questions, and you're looking at your goals, and you find that sometimes you find that your goals are not yours. Your goals are someone else's. Your goals are what TV shows told you should have on your goals list, or what your neighbors or your colleagues or someone else in your life told you that you should be like this or that, or it's some voice inside your head. You need to recognize your true self and really know who you are. And then you need to look at the goal. I want to be this guy over there. I want to have that kind of a house. I want to drive this car. I want to have these people around me. I want my kids to go to that school. I want this. I want. You make a list and you look at it. And then you look at yourself. And the further away you are from that life, the more difficult it is to achieve it because of your mindset. What we're going to do during the major blast can only be done if you are truly synchronized with who you are and with who you want to be. You are synchronized, meaning you are 100%, not 99.9, 100% sure that this is who you want to be. And you also want to know why you want to be that person. Why is it important to you to be that person? And I can tell you some examples. For example, I want to be that person because I know I can. I know I can be this person. That's why I want to be this person, because this is who I want to be and I can be this person. Therefore, I kick myself in the butt. I wake myself early in the morning. I go walk up hills and do stuff that most people around me are not doing. They just keep on sleeping. When I'm done half day already, I'm waking them up. Like, what you should achieve between 4:30 in the morning and 8 o'clock should be almost like what people accomplish in a week. And it feels like that. When you wake up very early, it feels as if by 8 o'clock, you're already like half of your day is done. So in order to be that There's a gap in behavior between what you want and what is. The circumstances that you have right now in your life are there because of who you are, of the choices you make every single moment. The choice that you make at 10:29 before you go and reach out for the ice cream, the choices you make before 9:30 that you say, I'm going to go to sleep right now because I need to wake up at 4:30, the choice you make at 4:29 and 59 seconds before the alarm goes off, the choices you make when you hit the snooze button, the choices you make when you say, well, it's too cold today, let me just skip exercise. The choices at every second throughout the day is why your circumstances right now are what they are. I'm looking at the screen and I see most of you, I mean, if your camera is closed, I cannot see, and by the way, I don't know why your camera is closed, we already spoke about it. Show up professionally to coaching calls and be ready. So when I see your faces, I remember certain components that I want to talk about. Like I see, I'm not going to name you, but I see you and I know what's missing and I can talk about some of the stuff. So I'm just trying to give you guys like a general, this little bit of a life coaching before we get into details. I truly believe that if you want your business to grow, you must grow first. And if you don't grow first, your business is not going to grow, period. So if you see someone else being engaged in the activities, in certain activities, and they become successful. Again, successful is something that is very, relative to the person who would consider that success or not. Like someone in your eyes can be super successful, maybe for themselves or not. So it's very important who we're talking about. Just in general, if you see someone else being successful and you wonder how they got there, and you sit with them, you have a chance to sit with them, you have lunch, you eat down, you eat lunch with them, basically you're buying them lunch. Say you're buying them lunch. Sit down, you're asking them questions. Okay, what kind of questions are you going to ask? There is one guy that makes X amount of money, you want to make the same, maybe, and you're asking, hey, how are you making this money? That's not really the right question. So you got to start asking the right questions if you want to find out real answers. The questions you ask other people and the questions you're asking yourself are extremely important. If I sit with someone that makes 5 times more than me, and I don't have to fall in love with them, by the way, who they are and what they do with their mind. I don't care about that stuff. It's just like, this guy started from nothing and he's here. Okay, he's making 5 times more than I do. I want to sit with him and ask him questions. Which questions I ask will determine if I can copy what he's doing instead of reinventing the wheel. Just copy what he's doing and do it. And then if he's doing it and he's getting 5 times better results than me, and I do it and I don't get the same results, then I need some adjustments that are not really. For example, if someone prospects and he makes 50 contacts every day, and I want to do 5 times more than I'm making, I got to make 50 contacts. If I make 50 contacts, that doesn't mean that in 12 months I'm going to make 5 times more. It's a path that takes time to achieve. Because while I'm doing that, he's already been doing it for a long time. While I'm deciding to do it right now, I am going to start building my skills based on what they're doing. It will take me longer, okay, to get those results. But if I continue, okay, hey, John Smith. So I have a question. What time do you wake up every morning? I get up at 4:30. Okay, great. What do you do? What do you do after you get up? Well, I get up, I brush my teeth, I wash my face, I put gym clothes on, and I go straight to run for, 5 miles. Okay, great. And then after you run, what are you doing? Well, I go back, I take a shower, and then I sit and I meditate and pray for 1 hour, visualizing, looking at my goals list, looking at my dream board, asking myself questions about myself, reading a 15-minute personal development book, doing this, doing that. Okay, great. And then what are you doing? So, and I'm going to ask this person questions from the moment they wake up until they fall asleep. What time do you go to sleep? And what's your falling asleep process? Do you do something before? Do you listen to some music? Do you watch TV? Do you read a book? Like, how do you get yourself? Like, I want to know A to Z what they're doing. And then I'm going to take that and compare it to what I'm doing. And if there is no gap between what they're doing and what I'm doing, then I know that it's just a matter of time. Because I also should ask him, how long have you been doing this for? So asking someone what they're doing to become successful is not enough. Asking them also for how long have you been doing it and how consistent are you? And when you are not consistent or when you fall off, how do you pick yourself back up? What, normally when you fall off your schedule, what is standing in your way or what could stand in your way of achieving your schedule today? And I ask a lot of questions. And how long have you been doing this for? And maybe that person makes 5 times more than you do. He's been doing it maybe 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Maybe he's doing it for 2 years. But he's definitely not going to be doing it less than that. Because nobody was born and going in and then they're making 50 deals a year and then they go and they build a team with 15 agents and they have 17 assistants. Okay? It takes time. 2 people started in 2010. 2 people. Both of them are driver expressive. Both of them had 500 people on their database. Both of them had they had the same amount of money in the bank. They went to the same school, had the same coach, worked for the same office. They look alike. They have the same age. They're both married with 2 children. They both live in the same neighborhood. They both have the same expenses. Everything is the same. In 2021, one of them is making $1 million a year in income net in his pocket, and the other one is struggling to make between 80 and 120,000. What's the difference between the 2 people? And if you ask yourself that question, you go back and you look closely at what they're doing, you will recognize that the one that makes $1 million plus his life looked like a 10-year of major blasts. Versus the other guy that's been doing it for 10 years, and he's been doing it kind of, I don't like to do this, I try not to do that. On Monday, I read this book. On Tuesday, I read another book. Then I go to this coach. Then I go to the other trainer. Then I ask my other friend from KW, maybe it's the company that I'm with. Then I ask the other person from HomeSmart, or maybe it's EXP, or maybe it's Century 21, or maybe it's this guy and the other guy. Maybe I should work for a team. Maybe I should do maybe for 5 years. While he's working 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 deals a year, barely doing that. Always looking for what's missing, never asking the right questions. The system that I gave you, the system that I followed myself, has nothing to do about me. It has nothing to do, it's not who I am. It wasn't who I was when I started doing it. As a matter of fact, I hated it. As a matter of fact, there were days where I couldn't really handle it, but I had to do it. So I was in peace with the goals that I made. I was in peace with the goals, with the decision that I made to go for it. With that decision, I was in peace with, because that's who I was. And I always knew that I could be better. And the only way for me to prove it to myself that I could be better is to be better. So yeah, everybody falls. You try to get up, you fall down, you try to get up, you fall down, but every time you go up, you go another 2 steps, another 2 steps, another 2, you go 2 steps up, 1 step back, 2 up, 1 back, 2 up, 1 back, 2 up, 1 back, you're ahead of the game. But when you go 1 up, 2 back, 1 up, 2 back, 1 up, 2 back, you're never in the game. And that's the problem and the difference between high levels of success and those who achieve it or not. It starts with, hey, how you do something is how you do everything. Are you going to touch that ice cream? It's 10:30. Or you're going to choose the apple? Ice cream or an apple? At 8 o'clock in the morning, are you going to go to the gym? Or maybe you're going to go, I don't know, for open house or something like that? Or you're going to get on the phone and start prospecting? At 7 o'clock in the morning, are you just waking up or are you already in your role play session? By 10 o'clock, have you contacted at least 20, 30 people already, or are you just starting now to look at your leads? By 10 o'clock, did you check your email 1,500 times already, or you had never even looked at your phone? What's your prioritizing? What is your prioritizing look like? Look, one of you want to make 500,000 a year, another is okay with 75. Both of you show up to coaching sessions. The 75 made 76,000 and the 500 goal made 120,000. Which one do you prefer to be? Don't have to answer. I set a goal for 500, I made 120. I set a goal for 75, I made 76. Who is situated to become more successful? You already know the answer. One achieved their goal, the other one didn't achieve their goal. Yeah, but the other one made more money, but that was not the goal. So it's not always about money, it's about conquering what it is you said you're going to do. It's integrity, is how you do something, is how you do everything. So you don't have to shoot for, oh, I want to make 500. Dude, you just started. How do you want to make $200,000? You just freaking started. You want to make 200,000? I know how to do it. Are you willing to do it? And for how long will you stay consistent? And what can stop you from doing the things that you need to do? And how are you going to handle that when it comes up, when it shows up in your life? Oh, I had this emergency. Hey, Ron, I wanted to do this, but this. I planned to do it, but this one. Continuously. Or you say, I'm not going to tell myself any stories. I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to go forward with it. So this is why I want to, rewind a little bit. Major blast is you're giving everything you have, like you're all in. If you have a second job, you're going to put the second job on the side. I am not saying that you're going to quit. You're going to do the second job, but it's like you're not even doing it. Because while you're there, you're not even there. You're just waiting to go back and do your major blast, your commitments to your dreams. And you don't allow the second job to take you away from your commitments to your dreams. You do the job because you have to do the job, then you go home and you start working. Well, I was a little bit tired because last night I had to work, or last night I had to do this, and no. That's not a major blast. That's not all in. That's not really achieving your goals. It's really, you're not aligned. You're not synchronized. The conversation is over. So should someone be hard on themselves to the point where they get depressed? No, you just need to recognize that if you are getting depressed about who you want to be and you're not achieving that, the small stuff, you can't wake up at 4:30. The beginning of your success will begin when you wake up in the morning. If you're capable to wake up before 5 a.m., you will be capable to achieve high levels of success. If you're incapable and you know you're not going to do it, then something big is missing there. Well, Ron, I have a second job and I work every night until 2 a.m. Okay, so that's a different story. You cannot go sleep at 2 a.m. and then wake up at 5. Your day is going to be upside down. The problem with that is by the time that you're going to begin prospecting, most people are not home. You're not going to get the same results. It will take you 5 more years just because you have that part-time, 5 more years to break that ceiling and to be able to actually replace your income. So you got to make prioritizing, you got to reprioritize everything you're doing, you got to put aside your life. When you do major blast, your life it's like you put pause, you exit the life that you're in completely, and you're going to go live another life for 30 days. During those 30 days, you're going to follow a crazy productive schedule, like someone who makes a million plus a year, and they started from scratch 3 years ago. How can someone go to $1 million? Yeah, people go to $1 million a year income, and they joined the industry 3, 4, 5 years ago. How they do it? They do it. So when the why is strong enough, the how doesn't matter anymore. When your why is so strong that the how doesn't matter, then you know that you have what it takes. Because you keep telling yourself, you keep making excuses and you make it okay not to be outstanding. You do it. You make a decision every day that it's okay for you not to be outstanding. And that's what I meant by let's go to the beginning and start and say, look in the mirror and say, am I synchronized with this person that I wish to be? Or maybe this is really not who I am. Maybe I'm not that person. Maybe I'm someone else. Let me seek first who I want to be, that I feel in peace with, and then let me go create that person. You can literally create the person that you become. You need to make a choice, and then you need to prioritize, and then you need to put it in writing, and then you need to make some commitments, and then you need to have integrity, and then you need to have discipline, and then you need to have accountability. You see how many things you need to plug into? If you're not plugged into all those things, you become who you are right now. So you can be happy with your results, and then you want to go to the next level. That's beautiful. That's great. You can also be depressed with your results and you want to go to the next level, and it's also okay. As long as you're in peace with who you want to be and you know why you want to be that person, and then you know what you're willing to give up or to put in on the table in order to go gain what it is that you're missing. You need to be like all in. When you're all in, everyone around you knows that you're all in. When you're all in, you look different, you act different, you talk different, you think different, you sleep different, you eat different. Everything you do is different. So I will tell you what a major blast is and what you need to do in order to, what the how. I'm going to tell you the how of a major blast. What you need to do. It will be connected directly to your goal in 2020. And you need to plug it in 4 times a year. Okay, 4 times a year. So in like the first month of the year, the 4th, the 8th, and the 10th. Or you can do 1st, 4th, 7th, 10th. Every 3 months, you begin every quarter with a major blast. Now, I told you the year already started, because whatever you're doing now is going to close in 2022. So we're talking money. Whatever you do now, money will come to you in 2022. It's not coming tomorrow morning. You're not making any money between now and the end of the year unless it's a miracle, or you already put the deal in the pipeline. And if you do put the deal in the pipeline, that was last year, as far as you're concerned. Whatever you're doing now is 2020 closing. So you start your 2020 money closing collecting money, the collections of 2022, your activity has to begin already. Today is the 2nd of November. Tomorrow is my birthday. So the 1st of November is the 1st of January for you. Like you, yesterday was your first day of the year. Now I want to ask you a question. Yesterday was Monday. Yes, it was a half a holiday, and yes, it was Halloween the night before. What did you do yesterday? Did you follow your business plan that you wrote down in October to follow in 2022, or did you do something completely different that had nothing to do with what you wrote down for 2022? And if you didn't do what you said you will do, that's why you're where you are right now. You got to make drastic changes. If you want drastic changes in your circumstance, you need to make drastic changes. You need to make drastic changes in your behavior, in your choices, in the prioritizing. Like from the beginning, what time you're going to sleep tonight will determine what time you're going to get up in the morning tomorrow. What are you going to do between the hours of 4:30 and 8 o'clock in the morning. Will you prospect tomorrow and make contacts? How many of those contacts will you make? Does it equal the number of deals you want to do this year? No. Why not? Is it less? Is it more? Oh, it's more. Okay, that's great. Can you continue to do that? So Major Blast is going all in, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and which other word that ends with a li. You go all in. And how you do something is how you do everything. How you're going to behave in your Major Blast will determine who you are going to become. Now, for some of you, it's not going to be easy, and for some of you are going to fail. You're not going to make it. When I say you're not going to make it, I mean you're not going to make the Major Blast because you're going to tell yourself some stories why you cannot do it. Okay, well, I cannot because I have this second job, or I cannot because I have whatever the story is. You will convince yourself somehow that it's not for you, or you convince yourself that it's okay to be where you are. You can, whatever the story is going to be. Just know that you might have that story show up with the drunk monkey who's going to bring it to you, your own drunk monkey, and then you look at him and you say, whatever conversation you're going to have. If you synchronize with who you want to be, there is no drunk monkey. If you synchronize with who you want to be, and you know the activities that you need to engage in order to get there, then that's the only engagements you're going to involve yourself in. You will never do something that is not on your plan. You will never wake up late. You will never show up late to a meeting. You will never, because how you do something is how you do everything. And it's 30 days to be this top. I need to be this person over there now for the next 30 days. So you got to go all in. If you think that it's going to take 20, you want to do 20 closings a year, you need 20 contacts 6 days a week. That's 120 contacts a week. Now you suck. Between me and you right now, you know if you suck or not. You suck with your with how you are on the phone, with your skill level. Like if you're calling Fizbos and they hang up on you, and you're calling spies, they hang up on you, and you're calling your friends and family and they hang up on you or ignore you, you suck. So you need to understand, I should be at a much higher level, and the only way to get there is if I role play and I chant out loud and I spend time in literally, like I'm back in school right now. You are back in school, you need to pass a test, you need to memorize, internalize, you need to know what you're doing. So you got to memorize, internalize the entire scripts. What to say when you call Fizbos, expired, so your friends and everybody. What do you do at the door when you're door knocking? What do you do when you have an incoming call? How do you pick it up? Do you pick it up? But you're prospecting, so why are you picking up calls when you're prospecting? Well, what if it's a customer? What if, like, what's happening during the day? So it's like you need to put a camera on yourself and watch yourself the whole day and what you're doing, and see if it's synchronized with your business plan, if it's synchronized with who you want to be, prioritizing and all that stuff. So Major Blast, when I go on Major Blast, a week before, I already prepare myself, because it's not an easy thing to do, because you really need to like literally disconnect from whoever it is that you were and connect to the new person. And there's gaps, and sometimes major gaps, between who you want to be and who you are. And the bigger the gap, the more difficult it is to get into it. But you have to get into it if you synchronize yourself with who you want to be. So your energy, you need to be prepared for it. Like you need to literally, it's almost like I told you, hey, you're going on a boot camp for 30 days. You cannot touch your phone. You cannot talk to anybody. You just go into this boot camp. You close the door behind you, and you're done. You're never going to see that world for 30 days. You're in a different world. You need to put yourself in that world. You need to create that world for yourself. And there can be no distractions from what it is that you need to accomplish and do. And then you pour yourself in 30 days, and you're doing it. Like 30 days, you're achieving every day. You're exceeding every day what you put on your goals list, because that's the minimum. When I say I need to make 20 contacts a day, if it's a Major Blast, I got to go higher, like way higher. If you have a part-time job Say you're working, I don't know, half a day, and you're going in, you need to do major blast. You can't really be like, no, you can still do major blast when you have it. Don't tell yourself stories. Well, I'm not really in this thing because I have a job, or I'm not ready yet, or whatever you're telling a story, because that story, you will continue to sell it to yourself. I don't know for how long, but probably forever. So you got to kill that thing. You have a part-time job, no problem. With that, you still have a major blast. If I told you right now that if you're going to do what I'm telling you to do right now, at the end of 30 days, I'll give you $5 million. You got $5 million in your bank account. I'm depositing it, but you need to do the following things. Would you do it? Yes or no? Before I tell you what you need to do, would you do it? And I'm not talking, we're only talking about working hard. There is no weirdness about the things that I'll tell you to do. Would you do it? Yes, you'll do it. Each and every one of you will do it. If I told you at the end of that month, I'll give you 50K, you're also going to do it. In 1 month, 50K, what do I need to do? So the schedule that I want to put you on, people that follow that schedule for like at least, and I'm talking again, 4 times a year major blast, and in the remaining 2 months, they still continue with a very high productivity. Because if you do this for 30 days, it will be hard for you to stop. Before major blast, maybe you did 10 contacts every day. During the major blast, say you did 50 contacts every day, and you did 50 contacts 6 days a week. Trust me, on your day off, you will be like exhausted. And that's how life should be. You should be exhausted on your day off. Unless you're resting. Guys, this is not a job where you go in and you punch in, your card and, oh, I punched in at 8 o'clock and I'm at 9 o'clock and I leave at 5 and I get a salary. You are the business owner. This business will succeed only if you do certain things. If you don't do those things, your business is failing. And I think it's easier to join real estate without recognizing that it's a business, because you don't have a store, you don't have insurance and rents and all these 1,000,001 obligations that you have when you open up a store. So, but you still own a business. That's what you guys don't. You own a business. This is your business. It's your brand. It gives you what you're giving it. So if you really want to change your life, first of all, you need to make a decision. Do I want to own a business? Yes or no? Because if you don't want to own your own business and make your own rules and have your own and design your own life, then you shouldn't be in real estate. Real estate is for big dreamers who really want to design their life. They don't want their life to be designed by someone else. So if you want to be that person, you got to get on a major blast 4 times a year, okay? 30 days all in, and you need to be prepared for it, and you got to go crazy. So if normally you're doing 10, 15, 20 every day and it's hard for you, then you really need to close the door behind you, because trust me, a major blast is not a walk in the park. Okay, now, if you want to achieve your goal, if last year you made 50,000 and now next year you want to make 75,000, major blast is not necessary. If your goal last year was 120 and this year is 250, you need the major blast. Okay, if you want to go from 50,000 a year income to 250,000, you have to do major blast. Otherwise, you're never going to get there. And if you made 120 and you want to go to 500, then you must do major blast, and you need to change your behaviors and you need to change your habits, and you need to, like, you guys need to really understand the commitment. And Teresa, God bless you.
Thank you.
So you got to think about, I wrote down my schedule. I'm looking at it. I'm reading it. Can I do this thing? Don't be scared, because anyone can do 30 days major blasts. You can all do it, but you need to make a decision to do it, and you need to start tomorrow morning. You cannot start sometime in the future when you're ready. It has to start right now, because it's all about being uncomfortable. A major blast has to make you feel uncomfortable. If you feel comfortable, it means that you need to up the activities on your major blast to scare you. Oh, I don't know if I can do that. No, this one I can definitely not do. Like if I told Selena right now what she needs to do, she will probably tell me, all right, I'm not going to do that. But you have to do it, because you achieved a certain level that can be taken away from you when the wind blows in a different direction. Whatever you achieved so far, like none of you on the screen achieved something that cannot be taken away overnight. You're not up enough. Do you understand what I'm saying? You need to go up in order to not be moved by a regular everyday wind. Like it should take a freaking hurricane to move you an inch. You want to go there? Then you got to change everything you're doing. So that's the major blast. All right, 45 minutes. I think I drilled enough. Here's what needs to happen on your schedule. So a major blast goes like this. You wake up at 4:30 every morning. I gave you the schedule by the way many times, but you gotta, so let's really begin when it begins. You have to go to sleep before 9 p.m., 9:30 the latest. If you have a conflict with that, right now, you have a conflict with that, I need to know. So you got to go to sleep before, like 9:30, you're in bed. I don't care if you're already sleeping and 9:30, you're in bed. Why? Because at 4:30, your alarm goes off and you need to get up. Now at 4:30, there is no snooze button, another 5 minutes. Let me just turn around the other side. You're immediately sitting down. 10 seconds after, you get up, you go start the day. Between 4:30 and 6:30, you need to be engaged in exercise, vigorous exercise. I'm talking, you have to sweat. Okay, vigorous exercise. Then you need to do stretching. Like you have to engage in stretching, because if you don't stretch physically, you can't stretch in your business either. You need to be flexible. So you're going to do stretching. Then you're going to do meditation, visualization, and praying. And that's by 6:30. You took a shower, you're ready. 6:30, all that is behind you. You exercise, you stretch, you meditate, you prayed, you got dressed, you're ready. Now, get your breakfast. By 7 a.m., you begin your day. Every day between 7 a.m. and 8, you engage in script study, handwriting, chanting it out loud, memorizing, internalizing, and role-playing with the partner. So you have to role-play, and you need to do it every day. And you got to do everything I'm telling you right now is 30 days. 30 days, 1 day a week off. That's it. 30 days working. 8 o'clock, you're prospecting. Now, what is prospecting? Prospecting is calling people that you know and calling people that you don't know. Go visit people that you know and go visit people that you don't know, which means door knocking. It means visiting businesses. You can do door-to-door businesses. You go to the restaurant, you talk to them, you go to the hair salon, you talk to them, you go to the nail salon, you talk to them, you go to the, I don't know, architect office, you go, like, you keep on working, making contacts. And your entire morning is devoted to making the amount of contacts you need to make, unless you're doing that also in the evening, which you should do. So you can divide your day 60-40, 50-50, 80-20, whichever way you want it. You got to achieve a portion of your contacts in the morning, and then you need to achieve a portion of your contacts in the afternoon. So if you go door knocking in the afternoon, there's a lot more people at home, by the way. If you door knock between 5 and 7 p.m., you'll get more success than if you went from 8 to 10. 8 to 10 is better to call people. Doesn't mean you have to call people. You can also go 8 to 10 door knocking. I was door knocking more than I was making phone calls in my major blast, because that was the time that I wanted to be out there and show my face. Major blast, you're going to do things that you normally don't do. It is the time for you to do the things that you are normally not engaged in, Selena. So if it's hard for you to prospect, this is the time that you're going to do it for 30 days. You're going to call all your sphere of influence. You're going to call past clients. You're going to actually write down what you're going to talk about before you're calling. So you're not just calling and schmoozing, but you have a direction for your conversation and you're bringing them some value. And I gave you some examples in the last couple of weeks of what can be said and etc. You don't have to follow someone else's scripts. You can write your own. You understand? So when you're done prospecting, you jump right on following up. And this is all you need to do for 30 days. Lead generation, follow up, and lead conversion. Anything else will not be done. So what is lead generation? Calling people, texting people, recording videos on your phone and then sending it to the people. That's also a form of prospecting. Sending direct emails with a follow-up phone call. Hey, did you get my email? No? Okay, open the email. I'll call you back in 10 minutes. Boom, hang up, call in 10 minutes. Did you read it? Yes. Okay, let's talk. That's a contact with the people that you know. Then there is contacts with people you don't know. Hi, my name is Ron Biederman. I'm calling you with Circle100. We just listed a home over on it's 2 blocks away from me. I was just wondering, since you guys own 123 Main Street, maybe you know someone who wants to move into the area. If so, great. If not, okay, how long have you lived in this address? Are you guys planning on selling your home? No, if I can get you, and you go from there. You calling. You call around your listings and sales. You go give private invitations on open houses. You don't have an open house, go do open house for someone else's listing. Call some agents in the office. Hey, I just saw you have this house on MLS. Do you mind if I do an open house? Take that, create a flyer, go out tomorrow, start giving out those flyers. Like, you got to be engaged all day long in generating leads. That is what 30 days is all about. Just generating leads for 30 days like a machine. And your minimum contacts per day for 30 days is 50. 50 people every day. That's 300 people a week. That's a major blast. So the entire day need to be devoted to making 50 contacts. And trust me, by the end of the second day, you'll be exhausted already. But you'll be good exhausted because you're going to get probably 3-4 leads already and you have to do other things. Now, for 30 days, you cannot stop this force because the only way to build momentum is with force. Every single time you stop, you need to start from the beginning. And that's the thing with major blasts. Major blast you got to do for 30 days. If you stop in the, say you did it for 1 week and then you took a 3-day break, when you go back, you're starting another 30-day. It has to be nonstop, 1 day a week only. So 6 days, 1 day. 6 days of work, 1 day of break. 6 days, 1 day. 6 days, 1 day, 6 days, 1 day, you're done. Now you sit back and you say, okay, let me count what happened during these 30 days. What did I accomplish? How many leads I created? How many appointments? How many listing presentations? How many buyer consultation meetings? How many exclusives did I get? What did I put in contract? And now you kind of going into a more like, what did you want to do? 25 deals a year. Go back to 25 contacts every day and you do that for 2 months. And then you go back and you do another major blast. Major blast is about creating force, is literally forcing your business to grow. So if you did 6 days and then you took 1 day off and then you did another 3 days and you stopped, then you did a 10-day major blast. And it's probably better than nothing because you will get some stuff. And if you're normally contacting only 10 people, now you did 5 times more than you normally do. If you do 5 times more activities than you normally do, guess what's going to happen? But you got to be consistent. So if you do that thing 4 times a year, I know many people that are way over $500,000 income a year, and they do what I just told you 4 times a year. And that for these 4 months set them up for the whole year. That's what I'm trying to tell you here. You don't have to work like a freaking machine all the time. You need to do these bursts of energy at the beginning. So if you're not counting January, like you do January and then you do April and then no, you're doing November, you do February, and then like every 3 months, May and August. That's how it's done because you started the year already. So I know it's a big commitment. I know we're already on the 2nd of January and you lost like, I don't know, you lost already 2 days, but you still have today, which is 10 o'clock right now. You can go back right into it. And then you can write down and then you start, like you guys, you need to immediately start. You cannot push this thing into the future. It has to happen now. If you don't know who to call or how to contact 50 people, the answer is you have to find it because you're a business owner. And if you don't know how to generate leads in your business, then you don't have a business until you come up with it. I gave you enough of the ideas. You can go buy a list and start calling them. You can go door knocking. You can get a list of for sale, but you sign up for the Redex or one of those companies. And by the way, I want to tell you something else. Don't listen to anyone else. Like, don't listen to other coaches. Don't listen to other. I'm not saying don't listen because, oh, follow me. I don't care if you follow me or not. If you follow the system that I'm bringing to you, I don't care. I just want you to be successful. But follow one coach. Follow one system. And when you follow one system, there's no need to read other books. There's no need to be this, crazy reader. Oh, I read 17 books in 3 days. Yeah, right. Dude, take one book and read for the whole year, but do the book that you're reading. Like, do it. Get it in action. So stop reading. Stop listening to YouTube's, oh, I need to get inspired. You don't need to be inspired. You have 30 days of major blast. You don't have time to be inspired. Like, you've been inspired enough. Let's get to work. So you're putting in 30 days and you're doing these 15 contacts per day. That's really what it's all about that. Like, Ron, yes, it's all about 50 contacts every day, 300 a week, 1,200 a month. If during this month, you're not getting a couple of listings and you're doing a couple of, you're going to get more than 10 buyer exclusive for sure. And then you're going to, guys, you're going to be busy like there's no tomorrow. So, and then I want to meet you here every Tuesday to adjust you, because some of you will get scared. You're like, oh, I got all these meetings. How can I do 50? Because I got like 3 appointments tomorrow and I don't have time to do my 50. You have time. Your 50 comes before the meetings. So when you schedule these meetings, guys and girls, don't put those appointments in the prospecting time. They need to fall between like 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. That's like 4 hours to do meetings. That's enough. Okay, questions? All right. So if you didn't send me your business plan for 2022 yet, send it to me now. And between now and next week, you need to be engaged in the real schedule that you should be in that will allow you to get 50 contacts every day. And if you don't want to do, and by the way, some of you don't want to make so much money. You'll be like, Ron, I don't want to make so much money. I don't need to do 50. Right. You need to be synchronized with the person you want to be. So if the person you want to be is 15 deals a year, then double that. So I'm saying again, if you don't want to do 50 because you don't want to make all this crazy money and you're just like, I just want to make 100 or 120 or 130, it's fine. It's great. Normally you do 15 contacts a day. Now you need to do 30. That double the amount of contacts that you think you should have for 30 days. And report. Now, every morning you're going to, when you get up, which will be 4:30, you will text the group, I'm up. Okay, every day at 7 a.m., you will text the group, I'm beginning my script study. At 8 o'clock, when you start prospecting, you will write down, I'm starting prospecting. And you got to do that 6 days a week. Let the group know when you start, when you do. So you got only those 3 points a day you got to do. When you get up in the morning, which is 4:30, then you do it at 7. Hey guys, I'm starting my script practice. And then at 10 o'clock, at 8 o'clock when you start prospecting. At the end of each day, you need to tell the group how many contacts you accomplished. That's your accountability. I'll see you guys next Tuesday.
See you.
Thank you.